That's another off-lane pick. And I gotta say, Spirit Breaker for Virtus.Pro really fits their playstyle. They like to be aggressive. They like to be in there. And I'm wondering if that's going to be an early pick. It's definitely been an early ban in this tournament so far.
Yeah, however, there's one thing to note. VP sometimes they pick their draft around very heavy single target focus.
They do.
When that happens, the meeple might be something that their draft cannot handle at all.
I would love to see Secret open up the very first match here in the playoff run with a meepo. It looks like, though, Virtus.Pro are going to be getting rid of the Lich, they get rid of the Ember, Team Secret rid of that pesky Doom, and Queen of Pain's got to go. And that means the first pick, we're going to be in for a treat here. It's the G Shadow Fiend here. One of the best Shadow Fiends you could ask for.
And it's also a Radiant Shadow Fiend, but the Brood Mother is still available in the pool, so maybe if Secret doesn't go for it, there's still a chance that VP might want to go back for the Brood, if they feel it's possible for them.
Okay, I know we're early into the picks, but I gotta bring something up that has nothing to do with the picks.
Okay.
I think walking into this series today for Team Secret, the thing they have to focus on the most is making sure that all their players bring their A game. If you look at like a team like Virtus.Pro, everybody plays well from game to game. For Team Secret, sometimes we have struggles a bit, sometimes Misery struggle a bit. I think yesterday he had a 3-5, 3-9 performance on Water. MV struggles a bit depending on the picks and the heroes he gets. So I think for me the most important thing is everybody showing up to play. Because when everybody shows up to play, they're one of the best teams in the world.
Envy is not afraid to sacrifice sometimes his own farm or his own life as a carry to make sure that his team actually pulls through the team fight. He's not afraid to make the first move and die, but his team secures the team fight.
Yeah.
So Secret will be opening up with the Slardar as mentioned and the Wind Ranger here. So we know Weehad to have, as of recent, flexing his hero pool quite a bit, but Wind Ranger has been his number 2, I'd say, overall in recent performances. So they're securing their mid lane. Is this showing Secret's hand maybe a bit too early, leading off with 2 cores like this, not stepping off and just kind of securing a good support? They're just willing to put it out there that this is going to be an off-lane Slardar and a mid-lane Wind Ranger.
It might be a support Slardar. We've seen some teams actually have a Slardar on a support position when they want to fit in another offlaner, or even in the safe lane sometimes. So I would say the Slardar pick doesn't mean that it's going to be on the offlane for sure. There are still options available for the hero.
We saw Envy playing the Wind Ranger on the safe lane as well, so it's not 100%. It's likely to be the Slardar offlane, likely to be the Wind Ranger mid, but I mean, I think we can even see teams playing the support Wind Ranger from time to time. So
that was one game from
Q.
Yeah, Q.
Q played a Wind Ranger in the offlane with the Clockwork.
There you go.
It was just heavy nukes on that safe laner. They did not like that.
I think the strength of these 2 opening picks are, you don't know.
That's true. There is flexibility there.
They might be thinking about the Brood Mother pick, which is why they are using up a lot of time here.
I want to say one of their matches not long ago, they did open up with the second pick Brood, but it didn't work out so well for them. But they're not going to go for the Brood now. They're going to get the Tusk here. So you get your Bruiser, you get your early momentum hero, your Initiator, your setup. There's still an Undying out there if they want to go back to that dynamic.
It's also your defensive hero when the Slardar and Wind Ranger, they are focusing on one target. You have the Snowball to actually help out your teammate. So it's not all offensive about the Tusk. It's also about the defensive capabilities it provides for your team.
It feels like the Tusk just does it all, right? He's an Initiator,
what a great hero.
He's a Zoner, he's a support, he's offlane. He does everything. And I think right now Team Secret is having nightmares because yesterday LGD's Tusk really gave him a huge run, right? It was one of the best Tusk forms I've seen.
The only thing the hero doesn't do is push down towers quickly.
Yeah, that would be too unfair at that point. Now, a peculiar ban here that always gets me a bit percolated is the ban on the AA. Yeah, that makes me believe that, are they going to try to creep in something like an Alchemist, heavy sustain?
Alchemist and Husker are weak. Heavy minus armor and heavy physical damage on one team. Those heroes are not very good versus the Slardar and Wind Ranger.
Yeah, one of the picks that Virtus.Pro did lose with in the group stage was a Huskar, so maybe they're trying to set it up by banning out the AA.
Illidan Huskar.
But it's not very good versus the M damage and focus fire.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I think AA is just becoming one of those supports that you can't really sleep on. A lot of teams, I think VP runs it quite a bit. They ran the AA Rubik bench tri-lane.
Even sometimes teams use the Ice Blast as like heavy pressure on a single target gank hero like a Nyx or even a SB. It makes the hero so threatening when you have that Ice Blast coming in.
What about that DDC triple kill Ice Blast yesterday? That was out of control. But now we look back to Secret here. This is coming off of that AA ban we were talking about. The Dazzle had to go. Secret got rid of the Darkseer and also took care of the Brood Mother here. Now we look to see if Secret want to kind of pick up some of their backstaff. A little bit of support potential here. You know, maybe even the Puppy hero. Puppy is also one of those few support players that still not afraid to even go into the jungle. He's shown that he's happy to pull out the Enchantress, a Chen maybe from time to time. What do you think about the viability maybe in this opening match that they could, be a bit more greedy with that support?
I think the supports that Secret need to look to go for this game is something that has a stun that goes through BKB, because SF is going to rely on his BKB to channel the Requiem. So as a support, you want to have a stun all the time to actually be able to control him.
Oh, wow. Okay, that didn't take much
response.
thought. Yeah, they get the Undying, which you know what Undying is able to offer, and it
the
could
song
maybe a minor
immediately
deny
to counter the Tombstone.
Yeah. Song, we kill your tombstone. I think when I see Misery struggle on the Slaughter is when he's trying to be the solo initiator for the team. When Puppy yesterday, one of the draft they had Wisp and Enchantress. These heroes are not exactly known for the disables, and I like to see Team Secret, like Winter pointed out, draft a little bit more stun, back up the Slaughter a bit. You don't want the Slaughter to jump in and crush, and then he looks towards his teams like, okay, who's my secondary initiator? Undying's not that. Undying's going to drop a tombstone and help you out.
Shaker shot though this game.
That's true. I think I would feel comfortable if they have one more, like a nice disable.
Feels like Secret are putting together a lineup that really is going to thrive on long-winded fights, getting off multiple amp damages, possibly multiple crushes, a good shackle shot lockdown. Of course, we want lots of decays happening there.
I actually like Spirit Breaker with their lineup as well. Like Spirit Breaker, Undying, very aggressive. Then you have to start on the safe lane, Green Ranger mid. Then you have a lot of small skirmish power. You have a lot of gank potential. You can be very aggressive. You don't really need to wait for anyone to farm a certain item. It's just waiting for the blink to come for the Slaughter. Then you're ready to go. You can take Roshan, you can get a kill anywhere, and you can push a tower with Undying and the focus fire from Wind Ranger. So overall, their heroes look really good with the Spirit Breaker.
I wouldn't be too nervous that would be too invested in a lot of melee, and they could be at risk of kiting around and kind of, not being able to get into the fight. Like, let's say Virtus.Pro decide to pick up a Clockwork and shove this Tusk over maybe a 4 position.
1, 2, 3,
Could
4,
that
5.
be a
1, 2, 3.
little
This is Marlini, the guy on the left.
I'm the guy on the right. I'm already picked him.
Are still very strong, and you have Spirit Breaker plus Wind Ranger, so you can actually pressure the Shadow Fiend a lot. I just personally feel like when I see the SF, I want some support that can actually keep ganking the SF in the early laning phase.
Team Secret burned through most of their clock to decide on the Gyrocopter here. It's been an NV tried and true back at 6.84.
So this is going to tell us that the Slaughter is more or less going to be off lane or a support position. It's not going to be on the safe lane anymore.
Well,
the SV is coming up from VP instead.
Tusk Spirit Breaker. That's pretty scary. Yeah, the linebacker. They're going to be up in the face of Team Secret here. But the one thing is they don't have a lot of synergy with the Naga song. Some teams like to invest a bit more into building around the song. Maybe they could follow it up with like a Disruptor or something. I would like to see them kind of build around that a bit instead of just be a strict defensive song or a song just to get rid of Tombstone.
I mean, I think song setting up a Requiem of Souls is already pretty good, right?
I mean, that's nice.
Applying that minus 50% damage reduction to the whole team. I'm just happy that VP picked up Spirit Breaker. They have an 82% win rate with this.
Woo!
If you gotta just talk numbers, that's pretty good for me.
That's really good. I like Secret. They give the nod to VP and they ban out that silencer. No crafty Illidan picks here, though. Hey, Vengeful Spirit's out there and can't really put it too far past them. Secret, though, are going to be the ones to get the last pick here. I'm imagining this should be the Puppy hero.
Yeah, anticipating a Naga to be a core, maybe Enchantress could be used to deal with the illusions.
Ooh!
Oh, a
This
Visage.
is like a pick and a block. Little Hardy really loves that Visage. Very good on the hero, but Secret will pick it up themselves.
Yeah, it's a good way to deal with the song, because when you sleep and you want to initiate with the SF, when the SF doesn't have BKB, you have the familiars to drop and stun the SF. Because the familiars don't get affected by the song.
Also adds to their hefty siege, along with Focus Fire, the familiar birds. They can take down structures pretty fast.
It's so scary. The familiars, not only that, can also protect the Tombstone. So the Tombstone is going to be really, really hard to take down with the call down plus the familiar.
Quite a bit of burst damage. Good to shred through the high armor heroes like Shadow Fiend, Naga, Spirit Breaker. So VP, we are still not sure what their last pick is, because Naga could be that support, could be the core. Which side are you guys leaning on this Naga?
I feel like Illidan would be a bit rusty to play the Naga. I have not seen it in a while.
Naga feels like the tempo might be too slow, because Team Secret is not going to play a slow-paced game. They're going to be very fast-paced with their heroes, with the Undying, the Visage. When you get your levels, when you have call down on Gyro, you're going to be looking to fight and fight and fight, and you won't be giving VP time to actually farm. So a core Naga might be something that's too risky to run in this game.
Well, we'll see here. Virtus.Pro. Thinking about that last potential grab, they've already committed a lot in the melee department here. I don't foresee the repeat of the G Shadow Fiend Illidan Weaver combo. Not in this matchup. I think it's a bit too scary with the amount of disable that already Secret have thrown together.
You like the Venge here?
No, when they pick Venge, they pick a lot of kind of early active supports that can roam and get kills. And I guess Tusk and Naga could be that.
5 seconds remaining.
Could be it. They also synergize quite well with the Mind's Armor. It's gonna
Lady
be a
Lena. Gonna be the final grab here.
A faster pace carry.
Hello,
That's what
yeah.
sexy lady.
Hefty burst as well. Ooh. What do you think, gentlemen? That's the 5-man spread from both sides. Early predictions. Do you have a favorite to one side or the other? The crushing manpower of Team Secret? Or do you think Virtus.Pro with the Bruisers, with the Naga, and now the Lena? Are they going to be able to etch out the first victory?
I'm leaning a bit towards more to the Gyrocopter plus the minus armor from Sada since they're on the dire side. I think they have that slight edge with the Roshan factor.
I also think that Spirit Breaker is going to have a harder time fighting ganks, given that your Wind Rangers in the mid lane could get out of harm's way with Wind Run, and the off lane and the safe lane is going to be pretty tough to charge into. I like Team Secret's draft a little bit more.
We're going to have to see if that's going to be the case or not. Just a reminder that these matches will be a best of 3 in the upper bracket. And I'm sure that just leading off today with a big win is going to be a morale boost for either team. And as the game does get started, let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters now to lead things off. We're going to have Mr. Odie Pixel and Ben Merlini Wu. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dakota, and a big welcome to everyone tuning in at home and everyone that's come down to the venue today. The game has begun, so let's get into game 1 between VP and Secret. And Ben, Illidan Lena is coming out today.
I think 3 people TP'd before the creep spawn. See Tusk on the top, Undying in the mid, and go to a Lil on the bottom lane. Pretty crazy. Oh, does that see it?
Oh, that's incredibly unfortunate there. That must be literally just on the edge. They're going to be kicking themselves for that one. I can see both teams at the moment priming themselves for a bit of action here at the top. Secret going to look to secure the bounty. In terms of the lanes that we've got coming out from both teams, is this what you kind of expected from the draft from both sides?
Yeah, they like to sometimes pull some audibles with the Slardar and the Wind Ranger, but it looks like it's going to be fairly standard for them. I also agree with the analyst. I like Secret's lineup a tiny bit more. I think it's more upbeat. Naga Siren with their 3-minute cooldown ultimate might be way too slow to deal with the Tombstone and the constant onslaught from Secret.
I mean, do you feel, is there going to be a specific lane that's going to be a whitewash favoring a certain side, or do you think they're going to be close across the map?
It's the Undying lane. That's the that's always the lane that you're looking for in the early game to kind of get out of control and, you know, just constant tower dives with Tombstone and the charge.
We'll see in a moment. Both teams able to secure themselves the bounty rune here for the mid laners. So, I mean, G Shadow Fiend, who were in the game yesterday where we saw him pick it up. This man plays this hero to an absolute T. And we were talking about how well VP kind of work around the Shadow Fiend. We can expect to see the supports getting a lot of stacks up in the jungle. We'll see FNG kind of come towards the mid lane at the start. Maybe try and buy some space for G so we can get up those initial stacks of Necromastery on this hero. But they've got to be scared of G on the Shadow Fiend Secret. And I mean, what is kind of their answer in terms of dealing with G and making sure he just doesn't spiral out of control in terms of farm?
Rely on the Undying and the Spirit Breaker or Undying to really do a lot. I don't know. They don't have the Stout Shield on the Naga Siren, so it's really hard to actually harass. He's already really, really low, trying to contest Weeha's farm in the mid lane. We'll see how early. I don't know what they're saving up for. Looks like early boost probably on Undying in the early game.
And I guess, talking about the Undying and the fact that they put EE on the Jara here as well, it kind of goes to show that Secret, they're going to be looking for that early to mid-game aggression because they don't really want to go late against VP. We've already talked about how well G can transition into the late game with the farm, and the fact that they've also got, of course, this Naga Siren. You never want to take those risks. Spawn on the lane. They're going to miss the Light Strike array here, unfortunately, for the side of VP, but just trying to harass Misery back. And actually FNG coming up on this top lane as well. Phobos has managed to get a bit of a block into the sideline here with some of the creeps just to slow down the flow. And Pyline Die and Puppy getting the second pull.
Testing 1, 2,
so
3.
managing
Testing
to
1, 2, 3.
control of the lane.
Pema.
Looking for stacks out for VP. I think Secret might look for like a smoke.
Can you hear me?
They often take it
everything
down
good?
with the Tombstone into the later game.
Look at this positioning here from Illidan and Lil, making sure that Misery gets nothing out of the lane here. They're looking for a bash. They're not going to find it. As you return around with the crush, just them the aggression here, but VP doing a really good job in terms of zoning Misery out of this lane, and this is absolutely key for them. We've seen before how much Misery can get done on the Slardar if he has a good start.
And no early TPs out on anyone yet, but he's almost out of regen, only 1 Tango and 1 Mango left. I think that Secret have to take control of the early game though. They have much
bottom
better
lane, the
control.
bash is coming out to Misery. He'll get the crush off though here. Illidan unable to find the Light Strike there. And again, just Misery having a really hard time. And he's got to go back to base now by the looks of it. He's only got one tango left on him. So being totally zoned out from this bottom lane. And VP finding a very heavy lane win down on the safe lane.
I wonder whether they're going to get the Lina to start moving. They don't really have a true one. Lina's like decent as well as SF, but it won't compare to the Gyro plus the Wind Ranger combined with the Amplify later. So the VP don't necessarily want to take it super late unless the Naga can transition into a farming role, but FNG's really, really poor, so I don't think that's going to be able to happen.
Yeah, at least certainly not anytime soon. I mean, there's always kind of the inevitability that the later it does get, FNG will find some space, but as we said, we can kind of expect to see VP put a lot of eggs into the basket of G, just making sure that he gets those early item pickups and he can offer to the push and they can group up and start to force the fights against Secret. But at the same time, that's going to be hard against Secret's lineup because they've got really good skirmishing capabilities with heroes like the Undying, like the Jaren. I mean, even if they get a decent timing on the level 6 here on Puppey, he's already found himself level 3 with the side pulls. Just having those familiars out, it's going to make it really hard for the side of Virtus.Pro to fight into Secret in the mid game.
And they don't have no eyes out on Misery. Not really sure what he's doing over here. They can maybe stack Ancients for him, but he's not really able to go back in the lane without any regen, and Undying kind of looking for any sort of pressure from the Naga Siren. Only one level on Shaco though. They can't really do that much, so looks like FNG trying to play the economy game with mirror images everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the side of VP, the fact that we've seen Lil at the moment on this Spirit Breaker pretty much just hang around the bottom lane, zone out Misery, look to create space for Illidan. We're yet to see him really roam around the map, and well, Misery just coming in with a crush. It'll allow him to steal the bounty rune here from FNG. I mean, at what point do you think we'll see some more kind of aggressive rotations coming out from the Spirit Breaker?
They can kind of wait for a Secret to make the move. I think Secret's going to make the first move, though. Maybe once Gyro hits level 6 and TP around. I don't see a TP in his inventory yet, nor does he have phase boots. But ideally, you want to kill and invade their jungle, like right about like 5 or 6 minutes. That's when Shadowfiend hits about level 7.
They might go here. Pilot dice should have dropped down the tombstone. Yeah, MVP being a little bit safe here, though. Doesn't want to dive too aggressively. So we'll just force them back. And FNG has come in as well, just sending illusions forward to help push the wave back out, but still 5 minutes in. Both teams playing fairly carefully, but I think, as you said, both teams realize and understand there's going to be a certain point where they can turn up to the fights and take an advantage, and they don't really want to risk anything for the time being and just play it safely here for the very early portion of this game.
Yeah, we already see aggressive item coming out from Illidan. He already has a phase boost, so no, like, Soul Ring, Bloodstone Rush, and then fight, no Yule's Rush. He's, looking to fight a lot early and maybe protect the stack. G's still hasn't taken out yet, still not level 7, but if they want to make a move, they have to make it now.
I mean, the thing is as well, from the side of Secret, I mean, do they really have the capabilities to contest any of the Radiant jungle and head over there? Because the fact that G is going to get this huge kind of burst of income and XP, it's got to be something that Secret are going to be a little bit
with
scared.
Tombstone, it's fine. They can kind of place it like in the trees over here, as well as the phase boost on level 6 on Gyro. So it's a good time to do so, but unfortunately there's no vision on the side of the Dire side. They don't have any eyes on where Shadowfiend is, where his teammates are, and they're going to get hit by the charge pretty hard.
And I do really like what Misery's doing here as well. The fact that he didn't have a great time in the bottom lane, so he's kind of utilizing the hero to just help buff up the Gyrocop to get Envy that farm when he's able to clear this out. So this is going to be really nice here for the side of Secret, and looks like he will be able to get it here again. So Misery's making the best of kind of a bad situation here for the Slider, as he's still sitting at level 2, 6 minutes in.
I wonder where FNG is going to place his ward. I don't know if they're going to actually try and contest the stack. Looks like he tried to walk into the Roshan pit, but wasn't actually planning on dropping a ward on the high ground. But both teams just looking to greed and greed. If you're VP, you're comfortable with playing greedily, though. Shadowfiend takes out stacks much faster than Wind Ranger, and Undying, he's not really that useful unless you get a Scepter, but he's not farming that well, and they're not really able to make use of his early game at all.
Absolutely. I'm talking about farming decently. I mean, DK Phobos here on this offlane. He's managed to find level 5 on the Tusk, so having a lot better time, of course, in comparison to Misery. But we talked about the Slardar in previous games, the fact that teams have started to realize you can utilize this hero very effectively without really necessarily needing an early timing on the Blink Dagger. Just hitting level 6, having that amplify can just offer so much to team fights in terms of also taking the early Roshan. We know that Secret, they do like to favor the Dire side, and they do like to utilize the fact that Rosh is going to be easier to take, and having a Slardar in your lineup is just going to make that so much easier when it comes to the point that E is going to have the damage to go for the Rosh attempt.
This is like a showing of just who has the bigger stacks. Stacks on stacks
Pretty
on
much.
stacks on stacks. I guess that's one reason to pick Naga Siren.
Starting the LAN pretty much with a very calm game at the moment. 7 minutes in, no first blood. Phobos just coming in with the ice shards here, but Pilot Die is going to give him the runaway, and Ministry's actually made the rotation up to this top lane as well, so totally leaving the bottom one open here for Illidan. Illidan on 50 CS, 27 denies at the moment, but at the same time, even though Envy has had to deal with the fact that there's been the Tusk constantly in this off lane, he still found the equivalent amount of farm. Obviously backing up into the jungle, clearing up the stacks has allowed him to keep on par with Illidan. It's just going to be a question really who could be more active on those safe lane heroes, whether it's going to be Illidan on the Lina or if it is going to be Envy on that Jara.
Yeah, everyone has their ultimates, the important core heroes. Secret has this like really aggressive war in the top lane, so that's probably their first die.
Oh, top lane here. We're going to see Puppey try and set something up with the familiar stuns. Gets the Grave Shield as well here onto the Naga Siren, but the Laguna Blade comes out with a TP from Illidan. That's your first blood here for the position 1 of VP. Misery comes out with a crush. VP will try and chase it, but they can't quite get Misery. Call down from Envy as he turns up. He's found one, he's found two. It's a double kill for the man. There'll be a charge for onto Weeha here. The Familiar's chasing back FNG. G is turned up as well here. Envy's going to move forward, but he's out of mana. Can't find anything else. So VP do find the first blood, but the side of Secret turning that around very nicely and getting a double kill for Envy on the Gyrocopter. Absolutely huge there for the Dire.
FNG just placed his ward here. I'm surprised they got caught by the Gyrocopter with his call down. That thing is so brutal to deal with, and I think 3 heroes got hit by that. Nicely played by Secret. A lot of TPs coming out to that area, but Secret had the advantage because they had this observer ward. They can kind of see how many people VP are going to throw at that fight.
Going to see them take down one of the familiars here from Puppey. He's still got 90 seconds on the resummon, so nicely done there with the Warrior's Punch. Just trying to shut down how useful Puppey can be here with those familiars. Bottom lane, Misery, realizing that VP's been a bit all over the map. Feels a bit more confident coming back into lane. Halfway through level 4 now as well, so just trying to get that level 6. And we are also getting a bit of space mid. G's backed off into the jungle. There was also that fight where G did TP up top, wasn't able to find anything for himself. So. And we are kind of needs this, because if you look at the CS difference, because of these Shadow Fiend stacks, it's crazy. I mean, he's got about 3 times the CS of this Wind Ranger.
Yeah, but I think that they wanted a Naga Siren to get some levels too. Ideally, you want to wait until Naga Siren level 6 until you fight like a level 7 Undying, because then you just sleep, you kill the Tombstone, and then you kind of proceed from there. But she wasn't able to get any of the experience in the last fight, nor any experience from the stacks, which she was, kind of just spent her whole early game doing with a level 1 in Mirror Image.
At the moment, Puppey just coming out to the bottom. He's got the backup here of Pilot Die. And top lane, a bit of farm being given to Misery. They switched him up to the top. Envy at the moment. He's going to make his way over to this part of the map, and if they can get this is going to be a very nice amount of income for Envy. And in terms of the net worth 10 minutes in, we can see already just 1k behind. Top lane, nearly getting Misery. Misery's going to be forced back here, as Lil and Phobos did try and make a go on him. But yeah, this is huge for the side of Secret, as they should be able to get this as well with the Tombstone zombies tanking it up. And Jar are going to get a huge influx of gold and XP from this.
Yeah, I mean, both teams seem pretty content. They're pretty confident in their late game, which is, I think, a little bit surprising. Secret have better super late, but they have Undying, who's going to be dead weight. And then VP, again, without the Naga transitioning into a core, I don't really foresee them having that great of a late game.
Oh, Phobos just gets a kill on some Misery. He came back into the lane and Phobos was there ready and waiting. Just jumped straight back in, and that's going to be a second kill on the board here for VP, and getting that XP and the gold onto Phobos is going to be pretty big if he's able to get a decent timing on the blink. Especially if he's able to kind of close the gap in on heroes like Gyro, who at the moment just sitting on 891 HP. They're still very, very vulnerable to being bursted down by the heroes on the side of Virtus.Pro.
I think that's okay, sacrificing your Slaughter's life, but he might also be dead weight too, because he's not anywhere close to his Blink Dagger timing.
This is a bit of an issue. The fact that VP now, they'll take themselves a free tower on the top lane. G with the double damage, making short work of it. And they're going to move forward for more here. He's got the backup of Illidan. Laguna Blade is ready and waiting. So it's a question really what Secret want to do in turn. They've got a couple of heroes mid. They could try and force something out here. But G making maximum use of this DD. He's taken down one tower. Fortification coming out, but he's going to stand ground and continue to hit. They've got Weeha coming in, just spamming out the power shot. And it seems to be enough to scare off G and Illidan as they'll play it safe and back up. Just aware that Secret might look for something on the back of this and see if they can catch out anyone on the side of VP on the retreat.
I mean, there's smoke, but it's only the Undying and the Gyro. They have no catch. They can like Tombstone and run at them with the zombie, but that's not really going to be able to actually catch anyone. I think ideally they're maybe looking for a big stack, but everything's already been taken down besides this minor 2-stack. Already scouting out with the familiars, maybe looking for an easy kill on G.
Ooh, this could be a big kill as well. G at the moment, top of the net worth. They'll find him here. The cooldown coming in as well. The familiar stands for Puppey, holding him under the burst damage, the cooldown, and they'll get themselves a nice and easy kill there onto G, who was all on his own. At the same time, there was a bit of a push going on the top lane here by both Lil and Illidan, but they don't find the tower. Secret's there with the defense, and yeah, this is big for the side of Secret. It's allowing Envy to close back in on G. You know, with the amount of fun that he's been getting with those stacks and getting himself back on top of the board here with the gyrocopter.
That was sick Visage micro or Gargoyle micro from Puppey right there. They had no way to like catch him. Like maybe you can drop a call down. They had no vision behind there, so kind of knowing that they're just gonna try and farm up in their own jungle. That's a free tower too with a big kill like that.
Yeah, I think in a lot of these fights as well, when we start to see both teams attend with the full 5-man, it's going to be down to Puppey to get these Visage familiar stuns on heroes like the Naga and like the Tusk, you know, heroes that are going to be able to save the rest of the team. And if Puppey's able to do that, Secret are going to have a good chance of taking the fights, and with VP unable to do anything in return to stop it.
The Visage is a really good pick versus the Naga Siren. Yeah. I kind of overlooked that in the drafts, but you can easily stop the sleep TPs with good Visage micro.
Yeah, that's true as well.
That's actually really important because I think that VP, it looks like they're just trying to play just more and more economy.
Yeah, I mean, this is not really kind of the VP CIS aggression that we've been seeing from them recently. They're certainly taking a bit of a safer bet this game. I mean, it's understandable with the kind of heroes they've got and the terms that they've got that late game potential. And well, Lil, charge is going to get cancelled. You've got Envy moving in as well. He's going to look for the TP. Is there going to be anything to cancel in time? Yes, there will be. They'll get the kill. Laguna Blade coming out from Illidan. He's trying to turn it, but Illidan's got to get himself out of there. He's all on his own. He'll turn around. He will be able to use up the Wind Ranger. I'm going to continue to chase him here, looking for it. They've got the Amplifier Misery chasing down with a sprint. Is there going to be any reactions from the rest of the side of VP? No, it looks like they're just going to leave him for dead in a beautiful power shot from Weeha. Absolutely on point there for the man. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Envy's all alone, and Envy, well, he's going to lose his life here. He came into the mid lane. There was 3 heroes on the side of VP, and after they find a tower, they do find a kill. So both of the position ones being taken down. Envy with kind of the higher bounty on his head as well, so VP are going to be pretty happy with that trade. I'm
not really sure why he wanted to cast the homing missile there. That's kind of what gave his positioning away in defending the T1 tower over there. But no mech on the side of VP. Maybe a little bit scared to take a fight. It looks like, I guess Phobos might be building one with his early ring. But we see a lot of economic items.
Yes, yeah, it does look like he's working towards that. I mean, G at the moment, even though they have managed to, they just got the kill down bottom, he's not actually been involved in any kills himself. Just going for this passive farming gameplay, and it's still keeping him at the top of the net worth. He's closing in on picking up that S and Y next as well. And this is the thing, FNG was 7. He's got the song set up. They've also got backup as well from the rest of the side here. VP seeing what they can achieve down here. They'll be able to take down this sentry here from the side of Secret. Secret actually a bit of a precarious position. Bottom lane, Misery is going to reveal himself, and we'll see if VP can do anything about this. He's going to go for the straight TP out, realizes that he's in a very vulnerable position, and plays it safe, gets himself out of the disaster that could have been VP crashing straight into it.
But just kind of scouting out with Familiar, scouting out with Power Shot, scouting out with Naga Illusions. Both teams kind of hesitant to make a move. Both of these teams have like pretty explosive Roche lineups, so I'm not terribly surprised that they're trying to take it easy a little bit. Gyrocopter kind of get that large HP pool versus the Lina. Same with Shadow Fiend, going for the SNY first.
Yeah, I mean, Envy as well, he's closing in on potentially getting the BKB, just needs the money for the recipe, and they're going to be able to clear out this stack. That was actually kind of, it was just stacked there by G on the Shadow Fiend, so actually ending up helping the side of Secret with the stack that he created. Maybe he felt that they could try and contest, but it looks like VP are just going to let this one go. And she's going to be a continual influx of gold here for Secret. I mean, you look at the graphs at the moment, it's very, very close between these two teams, just 16 minutes in. No one really breaking away in terms of farm, and that's what this game's pretty much all been about at the moment, 17 minutes in. It's all about the farm on these 2 key heroes. Obviously, Secret prioritizing Gyro, and the side of VP, as we were saying from the early game, they're going to be prioritizing G. And at the moment, it's slightly favoring G, but it's incredibly close between these 2 cores.
Super unusual that Misery went for the Force at first. He could have easily bought the Blink, but deciding that's a little bit more valuable for him, maybe trying to save people from Snowball as well. and maybe, I don't know, versus the...
Ooh, coming in with the smoke. They're going to find Illidan here. They've got a homing missile coming in as well. The familiar stuns holding FNG back. Beautiful micro from Puppey, which means there's going to be no song to save Illidan. FNG now, he's going to get the song out. We'll see if VP can do something to turn. G's trying to move in here. He's going to look to maybe set up a Requiem, and here we go. Straight on top, but it's a bit early. The timing is off. The corner comes out, and now Secret trying to fight for the sidelines. They found Lil, they found Phobos, and now Puppey with the stuns on FNG. They'll find him again. Puppey with the familiar micro, setting up a team wipe, and my god. This man's Visage performance absolutely on point. He starts it off by keeping FNG out of the fight, and then when the song comes out, he follows up by getting the stuns through, and he does lose his life, but he does it for the greater good, and off the back of it, Secret are going to get Roshan.
I'm surprised that VP went for that sort of fight. They were down Alina, and even like the song Requiem, let's say it had connected, it would have only taken out the Visage at the start, which is not that big of a deal because he still has his birds. So I'm actually super surprised that they went for that, and now it means a 5-man wipe in a row. So now what do they have to do until the late game? Secret can keep pressuring with the Song of the Siren not up, and their position when Alina has only gotten 1 kill 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this is an issue here for Illidan.
It's very, very foreboding for VP's late game.
Anyway. No. Look at this replay, Ben. It's beautiful with the music as well. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that production. I enjoyed that. I've got to be honest. Looks like we're keeping the music as well, just to keep the spirits here. I know, okay, rip music. Anyway, back to the game. 10 for 4 at the moment for the side of Secret. I want to have a look at the graph, Ben. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Straight up 3K. That's a bit of a swing here for the side of Secret. And I mean, as you were saying before, kind of describing the two teams, VP, they're not, if they get ahead, you know, which you'd expect them to do so, they do throw a little bit more than Secret. So the fact that Secret are already ahead, it's going to be hard for VP to get themselves back into this one. It's going to be all about G, but now after that fight, you know, he's 1K behind Envy on this gyro. Envy's going to be able to find some more Ancients here. And with that gold as well, he's got it on the courier.
Yeah, generally you want to press your early economic advantage with the Radiant Shadow Fiend, right? You farm up your stacks, you get like a 10-minute mech, and then you can take a team fight out pretty early, but it seemed like they didn't really feel confident with the components of their lineup. I think mostly the delayed Song of the Siren level 6, but like even Illidan too, going for the early phase boost. Phase boost you don't really need in lane. You can just straight go forward, a little bit of mana regen to farm up the jungle, but it didn't seem like their early game plan was really on the same page, especially with the Tusk and Spirit Breaker. You want to kind of look for fights around the map. I think that Misery played very cautiously though.
Oh, this shackle from Wee onto G, and Lilia in the tree line as well. They'll throw out the net. Secret will see if they can fight this one. There's 5 heroes at the side of VP all around. Misery forcing himself forward, won't find anyone with the crush, but now they get that familiar stones from Poppy onto Lil. The shackle shot to pull up as well. That's going to be the Spirit Breaker down. Illidan trying to turn around with the Lunar Blade on Misery and will find the return kill. So 1 for 1. Out comes the song, but Puppy, he's still got the familiars out. They haven't got their second stuns yet off cooldown, but nonetheless they'll be used to try and take down the Sigil, and it's just going to be a song to get the side of VP out of there. It's just a 1-1 trade at the moment. VP, did they go back in? The forts come out on this tier 1. Phobos is going to have the snowball in a few seconds. We'll see if he leads in. The shards coming out. Not going to be able to quite trap people out on the side of Secret. We're going to have the net onto Weehart. G coming in as well. And see what we can do. The shackles kept Beth and G back. And here's EE moving in onto Illidan. Chasing down the lead. The snowball will come through. But now Phobos, he's stuck between the entire team. EE pops the BKB. Looking for G. Can he find it? He should be able to know. Yes, he does. He will get G. But the Requiem ends up killing the lean on the sidelines. It's a double kill for EE. And Weehart just a mega kill streak as he also clears out FNG on the back of that fight. And again, another very successful fight for Secret, and almost just seems like frustration from VP as they try their best to fight into the lineup, and they just come out on bottom every time. And Secret, they're going to look to try and push the tier 2 now with their focus fire and the familiars, and it looks like they'll get it because I don't think VP have anything in terms of capabilities of stopping this push.
I mean, after losing this tower, where are they supposed to farm safely? Like maybe like this one camp and maybe they're Ancients, but their lineup isn't going to be able to have the farm to compete with Secret's lineup. Wee's already kind of getting out of control. Can already buy his Crystallis, and yeah, it's looking scary.
Indeed, and I mean at the same time, Parlatai finding a bit of space up top. Yeah, trying to be as efficient as he can with the map, and he has finished off that mech, so they're going to even have that as well for the next team fight, Secret. So even scarier for the side of VP to try and fight into. G's trying to furiously find the farm here for his BKB now on top of the SNY. And other than that, any other kind of big item progressions coming out? Illidan, okay, he's kind of halfway through the Aghanims here, so that's going to be coming out shortly for the Lina. But even with that, I mean, we've seen with Illidan, yes, he can kind of delete one hero from the fight, but just the AoE potential of Secret with Envy being on that Jara, the fact that he's got the farm that he has, up to nearly 4k gold now on top of the BKB. I just feel that they don't have the ability to kill multiple heroes. They'll kill one, but Secret will turn around and kill 3 times as many as you've taken down.
Yeah, I think during a team fight, they have to kind of interrupt the flow of Secret with the Song of the Siren. You kind of Yule's combo one guy, or, you know, Snowball, Punch, Laguna, and then you can reset, maybe Song, kill another person with Requiem, and then you can kind of take a 5v3. That's super ideal, though, but I think they can still pull it off with the lineup that they have. But as you mentioned, kind of Laguna being the only huge single target capability that they have, aside from Requiems, which haven't been spot on from G.
Yeah, it's all about the Song really and getting off a key Requiem in the middle of the fight. If they can get that Requiem out, say near the Jara, you know, they do get that 50% damage reduction, then suddenly, you know, VP definitely have the potential of taking the fight. But it's all about the initiation, and we've already seen how good Puppey is at controlling these fights, making sure key heroes like the Naga can't get the spells off.
It's just hard though, like they don't have like a DS or anything to kind of keep them in place. They can kind of just disperse afterwards. Ideally, you want them all kind of clumped up so you can get like multiple men charges as well as snowballs, but I don't really think that Secret have to position themselves like that. They have a BKB on Gyrocopter, they have, you know, 2 ranged cores, so the smoke will be spotted out.
Alright, we'll see if they can still try and find something with it. FNG maybe being the target. Misery. Just closing in. There are a fair few heroes around here on the side of VP, but Puppey's is going to get dispelled. And we'll just head back to lane. GTP's out as well, so it looks like Secret won't find anything with this movement, but at the same time, it's not too costly for them because they are keeping Jara just farming up in the jungle. So Envy's farm will continue, and he maintains that kind of 2k lead he has on G's SF at the moment in this game, 24 minutes in.
Ags picked up kind of good to keep the gyro down, but they have multiple cores that they need to work with, and you know he's kind of flirting with 1400 HP. Yeah, that's a lot. 1500 on the Wind Ranger, and then combine that with like a Soul Rip and Solar Crest, and I don't really foresee them being able to take
Misery might be in trouble here. He's trying to force himself away. Turns around, just the amplifier, but Pilot Die comes in with a mech. There's the crush from Misery, and Secret looking for the turn. They'll find Lil. The shackle shot from Weehard, getting the vision there from the Undying Zombies. Beautifully done. 2 kills for Secret, and VP just getting caught out of position again.
What happened to VP's teamwork that we saw yesterday? They worked so well together as a team yesterday. This game, they're just kind of getting picked off everywhere, and after losing that one team fight, they kind of just turned to the wins. Every man for himself.
I mean, this could be big. If VP can get away with this, but it's going to be hard. Misery's there, he's got the blinker straight away onto Illidan, and that is your position 1 gone. Just like that, doesn't get anything out. Phobos, he may even be in trouble as well here, looking for the familiars. There's a Puppey, he gets some bang on, the crush from Misery as well, getting the bashes out. Phobos, he'll pop down the snowball, but it's only going to prolong the inevitable. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a step out. He's going to look for a potential deny. He traps it. Oh, no, surely not. No, not going to happen. Puppey there, finishing it off again. And we don't get to see an awful lot, but this man's Visage performance today has been absolutely on point, man.
Yeah, it really has. His gargoyle is like a 6-0 for Secret.
I mean, this has got to be worrying for VP. I mean, 6 to 18 at the moment. In terms of the overall gold difference, it's 7.5k, so still they've got that potential always with the Naga Siren. You know, if they can hold the game on, they can't quite get the Nether Strike onto Weehard. He's able to get too far away. They're going to try and fight into this one. You've actually got Weehard just chasing down Lil, going for it. Nether Strike will come out, but Weehard's just going to turn and continue with a focus fire and just dispatch the Spirit Breaker. Oh god, here comes the Puppey familiars. If they get these stuns out, Misery jumps straight for onto FNG. The shackle shot as well. There's going to be no chance for a Song. Here's the controls there from Secret. FNG goes down to Misery. Is he going to go for this? I think he might. 2 seconds to the blink. Is he going to jump back in? He's got to be careful of Illidan. They have the Yules, but they still have Weehard and Pilot Die around as well, so if Secret wants to stick around, try and bait some action from VP, but yeah, it looks like VP are going to play it safe. They don't really want to run head first into the side of Secret with 2 heroes off the map at the moment.
Dang, that's already a butterfly for them? They have like butterfly plus solar crest. How do they expect to take the gyro down?
I mean, even with the burst damage, as you were saying earlier, the fact that they've got Pilot Die with the Soul Rip, they've got, of course, the mech as well. I don't know how they kill E at this point unless he really, really screws up.
We just really didn't see any semblance of teamwork coming out from VP. This is kind of a desperation right before the Roche. If they win this, maybe they can turn it around, but it looks like Misery might pop it.
Oh, he does, just on the edge.
Yep, he knows.
Fortunate smoke there. The pings come out. And they're going to be able to get the shards out. Paladai dropping the team set very nicely. Oh, they're going to walk straight into this cooldown. The yours is there on Illiton to buy him some time. BKB has come out from G. And now with FNG, maybe they can set up the Requiem. Can they get the time right? No, we are! Oh my goodness, he blinks out. They don't get the timing right. The amazing flash. We have no Misery coming in with a multi-man crush. He just turning around with the BKB. Illiton's going to fall here almost certainly. They've got the Greaves out. Is it enough to save VP? No. Both of the cores are down. E getting so ripped up. They just can't kill him. Solar Assumption burst down FNG. Godlike streak for Weehaw. And only Phobos left to get himself out of there once again. Secret just destroying the side of Virtus.Pro.
Again, another massacre.
Oh my god. And it was, even if Virtus.Pro, they get off the combo, they get off the song, again, the timing with the Requiem a little bit off, the fact that Weehaw was able to blink away.
It's not only that, they overlap the BKBs with the song.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do I do now, guys? But you can kind of see what VP is going for there. It's like, okay, maybe they can catch like 2 people off, kill an important hero like Wind Ranger, maybe catch her without the buyback, and then take out the Roche. It's being a little hopeful, but that's kind of what you got to do at this point of the game when you're down to the dumps with not as strong late game as Secret. You have to take those sort of risks, but didn't work out yet again. Secret, all they need to do is stick together, keep getting vision with the birds.
And it's been really nice all across the board here for the side of Secret. I mean, just looking at like Weehaw. We were talking earlier, you know, there's a position where Shadowfiend just had so much more farm than him, but Weehaw's just been able to do so much more across the map. He hasn't died at all. He's got himself 9 kills here, 4 assists. So really bang on performance here from the Wind Ranger. And as well, we've been talking about Puppey, stunning up heroes like FNG in these fights, but of course the shackle shots from Wee as well. Just making sure in a lot of situations, FNG just can't save his team with the song.
Yeah, you know, you like to draft like a wombo combo-ish kind of lineup with...
Oh, this could be painful for VP. They've got the homing missile going on to G. Lil trying to go with an Everstrike. She's trying to fight. They're going to TP out here on Lil. Will they be able to make it? No, the damage is too much. G, he might even need to pop his BKB if he wants to live because they're closing in on him. Can they get the slow from the Great Shot? They can't quite get in range. Looks like G is going to be able to waltz this one off and play it safe. Misery. He's got his sights set on a bit of action towards the mid. Can he close this gap? He's going to look for it. He's got a force as well if he needs to close even closer. The net holding him back. You got to be careful. Okay, they've got a yours. They might be able to find this turnaround kill. Maybe Misery got a little bit too greedy. But oh, the slide to the left with the 4-star. Dodging the light strike array. He's going to have blink up and Misery's out. They can't kill him. He can get away with just running around in front of their base. 4 heroes of VP trying to do something about him. But the space is created for the bottom lane for Secret to find a tier 2, and now they might just fight. G and Phobos to come out. Gyro, it's going to get snowballed up here, but Misery's there with the crush onto G. BKB comes out from Envy. They'll dispatch of G on the Shadow Fiend. He's moving forward, trying to look for more. There's a Laguna Blade coming out to Misery, but it doesn't matter. Weehaw gets the shackle onto Illidan. And again, the 2 cores of VP getting taken off the map for a good minute or so. Envy just unkillable with the butterfly, with the Solar Crest and the BKB being dropped down onto him. And they'll just look to try and break the base now. Fortification comes out, but I don't know what VP's plan is here. They do have a song, but without the Lina and without the Shadow Fiend, they just don't have the damage output to deal with the side of Secret. And they're just incredibly far behind now, 30 minutes in.
No gas left in the tank for VP. Looks like they're done for in this game number 1, and back to their drafting board. And what went so terribly wrong for Virtus.Pro this game?
I mean, Virtus.Pro, they are kind of, you know, the CIS kind of balls to the wall. They're hit and miss, mainly more hit than miss, but this game's really been a miss for the side. But obviously, best of 3, they're going to have a chance to pick it up in the second game if they don't here. And I mean, obviously, the game isn't over yet. They've only managed to find 1 set of racks on the bottom, so maybe VP can still turn, but they're going to have to turn around a 20k net worth lead, and that's not something that's going to be that easy at all to do.
I'm surprised Secret was managed to keep an economic advantage throughout the early game, even with FNG kind of full-time devoted to stacking, and with the Radiant Shadow Fiend on the side of VP. This was like before the Ancient stacks were taken out too,
Oh, Weehaw is teeping out in front of the nose there of Lil. And I mean, Paladai on this, I'm dying at the moment. He's picked up an Ogre Club. Is he just going for a BKB here himself? No. Oh, no. Oh, hello. That's a very tasty arm coming out for Puppey, in fact. Look at that. Now, with that timing as well, not bad on top of what he's been doing.
I mean, they have all the tools that they need to do to kind of get out the sleep combo, right? With BKBs, Force Stabs, and like Mech, Solar, Butterfly. They have all the defensive items that they need on top of the Aegis.
Look how much money the E's got. Again, he's buying items straight up. That's been the second kind of late game item that he's just picked up straight from his pocket.
I remember talking to EE, and they were like, when he was back on Cloud9 and he was constantly playing versus EG, and they were talking about how like OP Gyrocopter was, but some of the teams couldn't actually use it that well.
Okay, we talked about EE maybe messing up, and this could be it. He walks into forehead, they got the control here. He gets the BKB, it doesn't matter. He's down, 76 seconds. Maybe WeHeart can try and recover this. FNG comes out with the song. They're trying to move in with the familiar stance from Puppey. In fact, there's the damage, it's gonna kill FNG. Maybe Secret can recover EE's mess up. G's gonna go down potentially. No, he gets the ult off, and now they'll just turn to WeHeart. They do still kill G. WeHeart's got the Aegis. He's going to be back for a second round here. Pilot Eye and Puppey just trying to clean up. They'll find Phobos. They found 3. Illidan, he's in a lot of trouble as well. As this Yackle and the Crush follow up from Misery follows in. And 4 heroes down here. So, I mean, at this point, the lead that Secret have, even EE can't throw this game.
Yeah, he's like, there's a couple players that you just don't give Gyrocopter to. I'm one of them. And
GG.
Just kind of
GG is cool, and congratulations to Team Secret, taking game 1 here in the best of 3, and in quite a spectacular fashion as well. 33 minutes in, and 30-7.
Nice try to throw EE. Not enough.
My goodness. Wow. VP are certainly going to have to pick themselves up for the second game. I mean, just off the top of your head, anything you feel that VP needs to do
Play
different?
as a team.
Play as a team.
I think they were kind of regarded as the most Western European team that kind of resembled the Asian style, but this game, they just kind of got picked apart at every phase of the game.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be able to see what they do in game 2, but for the time being, we're going to head back over to the panel to hear what they have to say about game 1 between VP and Team Secret.